We're not forcing you to watch us. You don't gotta. You don't have. This is only for a select group of people. Now the reason why we keep pushing prophecy and mainly the mark of the beast, because I said the two big major prophecies is the war with Iran and the mark of the beast. But really, the mark of the beast is the main one. That's the main one. The war with Iran and Russia, that's the end game. That's the end game. When that happens, put your seatbelts on and get ready to get beamed up or get ready to be destroyed by fire. The major prophecy is the mark of the beast. That's why I did a thing called the hour of temptation. That's the hour of temptation. Because the ones of you guys, when they, okay, just like they did this thing with the other day with the Supreme Court. They ruled on the Obamacare. Now remember, you have a majority Senate and Congress, meaning you got the House of Representatives and the Senate. That's both majority Republican. So they figure when they got up in there, they can switch everything over. What happened? It went to the Supreme Court, and what did they rule? That the Obamacare, they call it the Obamacare, is constitutional. So all that majority Senate, majority House of Representatives is Republican is all bullshit, man. And I think the deciding vote was Justice Roberts, which, by the way, in the first montage that I brought up, when this guy was being confirmed, he went before the Senate to sit down as a Chief Justice. It was this guy. What's this guy? The Vice President, the current Vice President Biden. He was the one that said, and the producer bring it back up. He basically said, you're going to rule on whether some people should have chips in their head. So just like the bottom line was, the last word was the Supreme Court, right? Well, that's going to be the new thing. When there's going to be major turmoil dealing with something in the law, they're going to take it to the Supreme Court. They're going to do what I said as a certiorari to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to rule on it. Now, Justice Roberts, his seat was for the Chief Justice. And like I said, Biden said, you are going to rule on whether a person should take a chip in their forehead or in their brain. All right? So that was, I believe that was back in 2005, because that's when Biden was a senator. He wasn't a vice president yet. And that was before Barack Obama. So they already had it set up that this guy was going to, in the future, he said, before your tenure, he said, you're going to rule on whether somebody should get a chip in their forehead, man. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to bring it back up again. Say something.
You got that definition, Apostle?
Yeah, that was a patriarch.
Kindred.
I'm sorry, kindred. Yeah, kindred. Yeah, the Greek word is phula. It says tribe.
Both small and great.
In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, a nation, people. You know what's interesting? It says the word nation is in that scripture in Revelation. Now, I looked up that word nation in the etymology of the word nation. I get right to the point. It says birth, origin, breed, stock, kind, species, race of people. So when he said small nations and great nations of what? Nations of people. So even by him trying to use the word nation, that shows his ignorance to the meaning of the word nation. But it also shows you that the nation is talking about his people. Because if you look up the etymology of the word, it clearly says it right here. Species, meaning species of people, race of people, tribe. All right, so again, the use of the word nation there in Revelation is talking about people. So when it says small nations and great nations, it means small people, great people. People make up nations, man. Nations make up people.
And what I notice about Nate's videos on the comment board, those are shallow people. They'll say, great video, you know? Or they'll say, you know, thank you, Elder Bishop Nate, for clearing this thing up. So basically, you're sitting there to see what Nate says. You're not going by the fact. You're just seeing what's the bottom line when it comes to Nate. And whatever Nate says, if he says whales speak French at the bottom of the sea, you niggas will believe that, man, because you're zombies, all right? If he said there is such a thing as Santa Claus and he went to a couple of scriptures, you actually believe that Santa Claus exists. He can go to certain scriptures and make you believe that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer exists and Easter bunnies lay eggs. All he got to do is go to Acts 12 and 4, if I'm not mistaken, when it says Easter, and he can make you zombies worship Easter, man.
Well, they should. They don't believe in the Greek. So they should worship Easter. It
Well,
says it right
well
there.
one of the holidays of Christ is Easter,
Easter,
and
yeah.
they call on Christ. But anyway, here's the video, right? It's in the Bible. It's not mentioned in the Quran. It's not mentioned in the
Kibra Negas.
Kibra Negas, the Metanetta, the Epica Galgam. It's not mentioned. The only book that is mentioned is in the scriptures.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior?
Did y'all hear that, man? So that mark of the beast thing, that microchip thing, and now Nate finally admits to it that yes, there is a mark, there's a microchip thing, but he's saying that's not talking about the mark of the beast. He made a recent video, right? And I think it's the YouTube page is IUIC in the Classroom 2. And basically that first video on that particular page was on the mark of the beast. But why? Because he has to do more damage control. Because there's so many news articles about this RFID technology. In this video that I'm going to show you that he did like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, he said that the RFID, and he had the congregation of zombies laugh. He said, what is an RFID chip? It's a tracking device. You don't buy stuff and you don't pay for stuff with it. Well, you're going to see that you can access the RFID you use. It is a tracking device, but you can also pay for things and buy things. All right?
Yeah, I think it was Shakespeare said, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave, when at first we practice to deceive."
Because you gotta do damage control. All right? So now, go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel 13 and 6, because our Elder Tar was saying something about Nate zombies.